Welcome to the stage to deliver Standing in the Center of the Digital Divide, Markus Beamer.
So I want to tell you a story about how I ended up standing in the center of the digital divide. This happened about 10 years ago. I'm in a bookstore, browsing around, looking for something technically related, a little educational. You know how you get lost and that sort of thing. And a fellow walks up to me and he says, "Hey, are you in technology?" And I looked at him and I said, "Yeah, I do some web development work for a real estate firm here in Charlotte." He said, "I could use some help. I'm trying to teach high school kids how to build websites." And I looked at him and I said, "Teaching's not really my thing. I don't really know if I can." He said, No, I just need you to give some tips and pointers and a little bit of instruction, but I'll do the real teaching." I said, "Well, all right then, let me go." So I went down there on a Saturday, and I walk into this computer lab, and there's 20 machines there, and around 40 high school kids, wild high school kids. And the instructor's up there trying to teach, and they're all over the place. And I'm scratching my head going, "Oh, what have I gotten myself into?" And but as I talked with the kids, I came to realize that over half of them didn't have a computer at home or didn't have internet access, and they didn't deal with technology on a day-to-day basis. And it kind of sunk home with me that this was a problem. And we were trying to teach them how to build very basic websites. They didn't even know, what a URL was, HTML or JavaScript, just what we would consider very basic things. They had no idea about any of this stuff. So we're trying to teach them, and we get started and we teach them just the basics. I mean, just a single web page, a couple of colors, a couple of fonts, and a text box. Simplest web page ever. And they're getting there. They're getting there. But what surprised me was as we gave them these little bits of knowledge, they ran with it and they ate it up, right? I had one kid, I just showed him how to do an image and a background and a couple colors. He comes in next weekend and he's got this video montage site. You can play videos on it and you can listen to music. The background was all interlaced and it just looked really cool. And I hadn't taught him all that, I just gave him the basics and he went with it, right? And this kind of pounded home to me that you don't have to be brilliant, you don't have to teach these kids how to be geniuses, you just got to give them a little something to work with and let their own passion drive them to create things. And they would really go out there and get it. And this became, my personal definition of the digital divide. It was the difference between those that could use internet content and those that actually could produce internet content. And if I could get more of them producing and understanding the technology that went behind it, then I was kind of almost like helping build that pipeline of talent for our technology future and for the people that are going to impact my community when I'm old and gray in my chair. And this was something that excited me. And it was simple. It wasn't anything difficult that we were teaching, and we didn't really need a lot of space. We could do it in a church or a library or university, really anywhere that had a open area, a couple of machines for us to talk to and sit down, and we could really teach these kids. And at the end of the day, we knew we were making an impact. I've done this for 10 years. I've seen these kids. Some of them didn't even have an idea they were going to college, and after going through this, they had aspirations, they got into technology, and I talked with these kids years later, and they're like, "Yeah, I remember such and such." In 2008, I bumped into one of my old students, and his mother had gotten sick while he was in college, and he had to drop out and come home. Well, he needed to make ends meet and make a little extra money to make time to meet bills and stuff, so he created very basic websites for his barber and his church members, a couple friends and families, and it wasn't anything big, but it made a little money for him and his family, and he was using skills that he could translate to a job later on when he went back to college. And this was really encouraging to me. So what I want you to remember is that the digital divide is real. It is here in Charlotte. Even today, 10 years later, when I walk in a room, there's still 20% of those kids that don't have a computer at home or internet access or don't have regular access to technology. And it's not just the youth. This chart shows that more than 50% of adults just need help understanding how to use the web, how to browse, how to save files, how to get images and things like that. Things that me and you as technologists take for granted and we do it in 30 seconds. There's a lot of folks out there that just don't know how, and they just need a little bit of instruction. So we all can help do that. I would encourage you to join me to help. If you want to start your own thing, you don't have to wait on somebody else to get you started, a nonprofit or some programming group to get on it. You can pick a place to go out there and start and inform a couple folks about something that you know. Thank you for your time. I'm Markus.